you get a fish, you get a fish in the bag, and then you're like, I'm gonna leave you in this bag, and then I'm gonna put you in the aquarium. Sweet baby's the bag.
Fishy! Wake up! Why are you sleeping?
Before we get into today's video, please make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons because YouTube seems to hate our channel.
So offer up your souls, subscriptions, to break the algorithm curse.
And now, on to the video. Not only does she love Bowser, she loves being a liar, but let's go see what she had to say. Are you guys ready?
Nope.
Curious, what is narrative design for someone that's not really familiar with it, if that's not really their realm?
So the way that narrative design is like so nebulous, I think, because it's still being defined, but the way that I usually think of it is the relationship between the mechanics of the game and the way that it plays and the story that it's trying to tell.
Okay.
So the fact that you talk to someone and then fight them is the narrative design versus the words that they say to initiate that fight.
You talk to someone and then fight them. That's the narrative design, guys. This is the person people are going to for their narrative design. You talk to people and then you fight them, and that's narrative design.
What nonsense is this woman spewing?
So you talked about founding Sweet Baby Inc. to do narrative development. Can you talk about how that agency came about? Like, what was the emphasis behind it?
So when I was at Ubisoft, and with any big company, like you can't really write anywhere else. Like that's kind of the rule of the thing. Like you were owned by them at the time, and I started wanting to do more projects, to work on more stuff, and to kind of see. So I ended up leaving that company to go freelance. But I realized very quickly when I was asked to write on or to consult on a project as a freelancer, I sat down and it was an Afrofuturist project for a different company. I said, okay, I can help with that, but what does your writing team look like? And it was like 3 white guys. And I said, like, this is not, you can't bring me in and expect me to just kind of work.
Fix it magically.
Yeah, fix it magically when it's not coming from an authentic source. And I said, like, what if, I could bring more people of color on teams like this and kind of train them up within my own company so that, the client doesn't have to worry about like training a junior necessarily. And I can kind of bring them up through that and bring them to that. And I thought, okay, that's kind of a good idea and it could work. And the way that kind of congealed into actually starting a company was my best friend, Ariadne McGillivray, and she's the other co-founder. And she and I were working on a bunch of projects with our 3rd member now, David, and we worked with a lot of clients who were very difficult, and we worked with a lot of clients who were very easy. And the ones who were easy and the ones who were a pleasure to work with, we would always go like, those guys were sweet babies. Like they were really sweet babies, we really liked them. And so eventually we said, like, what if we called ourselves Sweet Baby in honor of that? And then, that was it.
So what you heard there was she decided that they worked with a lot of people, and some of them were difficult and some of them were nice. So she decided we're going to call those ones Sweet Babies. Why? Don't know. But she decided that the only people, right, that because these people they decided to call Sweet Babies, that they would become Sweet Babies. So in other words, we want to become people who aren't difficult to deal with, they say as they proceed to destroy every game that they're involved with.
Also talking about quality when they themselves do not put out quality products.
Yeah, that's awesome, especially having a pipeline for people who are starting out. So many people want to get into the games industry, and it can be really difficult to do that.
I think a lot of the time, what keeps a lot of people out of the industry is they come into companies where there's no one who looks like them, and they don't get the support that they need in those larger structures. So at the very least, I can kind of create like what's that little thing, like, when you get a fish, you get a fish in the bag, and then you're like, I'm gonna leave you in this bag, and then I'm gonna put you in the aquarium. Sweet baby's the bag.
Is it though? Is it really?
It's their little bubble. Sweet Baby Inc. is the protective bubble. We don't want to put this carnival fish in the tank with the other carnival fish.
Then what's the point of getting the fish?
Kim, the problem is, though, you forget to mention the part that the fish that are in the bags tend to die very quickly because they're not high quality. Oh my god, Kim is Darla. the girl from Finding Nemo. She's just poking, fishy, fishy, sweet baby fishy. Game industry, why are you sleeping?
Get a fishy, 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 fishy.
I get marginalized voices in the gaming industry.
I remember having another conversation with a friend of mine who's an English teacher here, and I made the point to him, if you just think about how many people in the world speak English statistically because of colonialism, you know, there's bound to be fantastic writers that you never really hear about. And I just think that it's just so important to like have that moment where you realize I can put myself in this, or I should seek out these kind of stories to resonate.
It's a huge turning point in your life, and I think when I always think of Catcher in the Rye as the one that I realized that this wasn't for me, that I might have to write these kinds of things, but it was not for me. And I remember sitting there, and there are bits and pieces of it that are like extremely racist. And I remember kind of raising that to my teacher, and him going like, well, yeah, but that's how people think, you know? And I'm like, it doesn't have to be, like, this is not my experience, and I can't relate to this very angry young white guy who seems to have no problems. You know, like, he seems to be dealing with things that he seems very angry, seems very unpleasant, and I thought, like, this is not my anger. This is not what's unpleasant for me. These are the things that, like, he's still continuing to oppress people, and I'm supposed to sympathize with that.
Kim, if you're in school and someone tells you to read Catcher in the Rye,
You read Catcher in the Rye. If you're upset that you can't relate to the character in the book, shut up and read the book, do the assignment, and then find something else to read.
And it's what you get asked to do. Same with like To Kill a Mockingbird, right? Where
Very unimpressed.
yeah, like, yeah, I'm kind of like good book, I guess, but it's a lesson for not me.
To Kill a Mockingbird is a lesson for everybody. Keep in mind, this is the person people are going to get advice on narrative for their games. And she read To Kill a Mockingbird and went, it's a good book, but it's not me. I can't relate to it. The entire book is about, it has a bunch of different themes going through it. The whole point, she missed the entire point of the book.
You think?
You have to like write all these things where you have to like understand, like, do you understand why this is racist? I'm like, yes, I absolutely do.
I don't think so.
I think it's so funny that she's literally like, I read the book and they're like, do you understand why this is racist? Yes. It's like, congratulations, Kim. You understood a theme in the book. You just decided to be offended by it rather than actually take away something from it.
She literally missed the whole point. How much deeper into her own grave is she going to dig herself with all of this insanity?
This is ridiculous, though. This is the person people go to get consultation on their narrative, and she did not even know that part of the theme of To Kill a Mockingbird is that you shouldn't judge by skin color. Are you loco?
Yes! Clearly she is! Please make it stop.
Oh my God! This is just... Kim, the whole part of the theme was that you shouldn't judge by skin color!
That's literally the whole point of the trial!
Like the video, break the algorithm style, share with your crew. Escape mind's hell, from spooky memes to advice obscure. Here's your dark solace of humor as a cure.